The moment Kazuya's class window materialized, the entire ceremony hall erupted in laughter. On the glowing screen, a single line mocked him. Class absorption. Current class none. Fingers pointed. Whispers turned to open scorn. In this world, a classless hunter was less than nothing.
Class absorption. A skill that starts with no class is useless. You fail.
They'll see. I'll make this curse into their worst nightmare.
He turned his back on their jeers, and a cold half-smirk crossed his face. 3 months later, the same system window floated above a battered knight. Sir Aldrich, S-Rank Knight, knelt in shattered armor as a new line burned into existence. The system window updated. Knight class absorbed. Mastery, 100%. He turned and walked off the arena toward the next name on his list. The hunt had only begun, but why was he hunting them? The answer lay in a small graveyard, where 2 simple stones stood. Kazuya knelt before the graves of his parents, commoners who died because no class protected them.
I promised you, no one will be worthless again. I'll tear down this caste system with my own hands.
In the present, he stood before a mirror, his chest now gleaming with the sword symbol of the knight. His list was long. Next, S, rank mage, Lyra the Stormcaller. He sent the formal duel challenge, as the law allowed. No one could refuse. Across the city, in a sterile office of the Hunter Association, an analyst named Lena stared at a data screen.
3S, rank duels in 3 months, all won by the same unknown hunter. This is no coincidence.
She flagged the pattern for the commissioner, but legally, there was nothing they could do. Sanctioned duels were untouchable. Meanwhile, Kazuya walked toward the storm-battered tower, where Lyra awaited. The hunt was on. Inside the mage tower, storm clouds churned. Lyra the Stormcaller floated above the dueling circle, her silver hair electrified.
You dare challenge me with a stolen knight class? I'll show you true power.
Talk is cheap. My parents died because of arrogance like hers. Time to collect.
Lightning split the air as Lyra unleashed a barrage, but Kazuya's shield, fortified by knight endurance, held.
Impressive. But can your shield handle this?
Kazuya didn't just block. He channeled his own elemental energy, a swirling mix of fire and ice, through his sword, disrupting her spell. The surge of raw, unclassed magic shattered Lyra's concentration. Her staff cracked, and she fell. A familiar window appeared. Class absorption. New class, mage. Mastery. Mastery, 100%. On Kazuya's chest, the staff symbol ignited beside the sword.
2 down. The list is long, but I'll finish it.
At the Hunter Association, Commissioner Vall slammed a report onto the desk. The pattern was now undeniable.
3 S-rank hunters defeated in legal duels, and all by the same no-name commoner. This is a threat to the entire hierarchy.
His skill is class absorption. He starts with no class, but every victory adds a new one. And the law can't touch sanctioned duels.
So we just watch while he dismantles the system we built. There must be something we can do.
Unless he breaks a rule, no. But physically, absorbing multiple classes might destroy him on its own.
Alone in his room, Kazuya felt the first real strain, a burning pressure where the staff symbol glowed.
2 classes and my body is already complaining. Pathetic. I can't let this stop me.
He opened his hit list. Next name, Kian Silverfang, S-rank archer.
An archer. Different strategy needed. But I'll adapt. I always do.
He sent the challenge and set off. The hunt would not slow. In the forest arena, Kian Silverfang drew an arrow. His eyes never left Kazuya's approaching figure.
You've caused quite a stir, but I don't intend to be your next trophy.
His aim is perfect. At this range, even a shield won't last long.
The first arrow sliced the air, a glowing streak aimed at Kazuya's heart. Kazuya blocked with his shield, but the force still drove him back. Kian's arrows were brutally accurate. He needed a distraction. Drawing on his mage class, Kazuya hurled a volley of fireballs into the canopy, As burning leaves rained down, Kion was forced to relocate. And that split second was all Kazuya needed. He surged forward, struck the bow from Kion's hands, and the duel was over. The class window flickered to life. Archer, mastery, 100%. On Kazuya's chest, a golden bow symbol ignited beside the sword and staff. Kazuya's next target led him to a small clinic in the Commoner district, where Elena, the saintess, treated the sick without charge.
You are the hunter absorbing classes. I wondered when you'd come.
She heals the poor for nothing. Hurting her feels like betraying my own promise.
I can see the strain in your body, but if a duel is the only way, I accept.
The duel began. Elena reversed her healing light, turning its restorative power into a crushing force.
Every strike exposes the cracks in my own body. She's not just fighting me, she's showing me my limit.
But Kazuya used Archer's precision to disrupt her flow, then Knight's strength to disarm her. Gently, she knelt, defeated but unharmed. Once more, the system window acknowledged his victory.
4 classes now. Your body is tearing apart. If you don't stop, the power will consume you.
The healer symbol ignited on his chest, but deep inside, he felt something fracture. Days after the healer duel, Commissioner Vall slammed a new file onto his desk. He had found the legal opening he needed.
Unauthorized use of healing magic in public is a direct violation of Hunter Code 7. Issue the arrest warrant immediately.
That night, Association agents surrounded Kazuya near the old city gate. Restraint spells crackled in their hands.
They came for me, no more duels. They're trying to lock me away before I finish the list.
Kazuya forced his aching body into the shadows. The clumsy stealth he practiced in secret barely masked his presence. He escaped, but he knew his crude imitation of an assassin would not fool them for long. There was only one solution: absorb the true assassin class. He scrolled his list to the next name, Shade the Silent. He sent the sanctioned challenge, careful to avoid any public interaction. The association's spies were watching every move.
I only need to stay free long enough for one more duel, then I'll be a ghost.
He pulled his hood low and disappeared into the mist-choked streets. The hunt now moved in darkness. In the abandoned district, Shade struck from the dark. Her poisoned blade nearly found his throat.
Her poison is flooding my veins. Without healer regeneration, I'd be dead already. I need to end this now.
Shade multiplied into a dozen illusions, each one mirroring her deadly intent. But Kazuya's archer eyes saw through them all.
You steal our classes, but you can't steal the shadows.
He disarmed her with night precision, but his hands trembled as he did. The system window materialized above Shade's still form. Assassin class absorbed. Mastery 100%. On his chest, the dagger symbol ignited. But then Kazuya doubled over, spitting blood.
5 classes now. He could feel his own mana tearing him apart from within. But there was no turning back.
Gritting his teeth against the agony, he forced himself upright and disappeared into the darkness, a true ghost. Even as his body screamed in protest, he scrolled to the next name on his list. The hunt could not pause. In the wilderness arena, Varen the Wild stood beside his massive wolf spirit, both bearing fangs.
You think you can steal my bond? I'll tear you apart before you touch us.
He and that beast fight as one. I need to separate them, or I'll be overwhelmed.
Drawing on his new assassin stealth, Kazuya vanished into the shadows and reappeared on the wolf's blind side. A swift strike forced the beast to disengage, and Kazuya faced Varen alone. The hunter soon fell. The system window flickered. Beast Tamer class absorbed. Mastery 100%. The beast symbol ignited on his chest, but his legs buckled under the weight of 6 classes.
6 classes. My body is screaming. But I can't stop now.
Rumors reached him through the underground. The remaining S ranks were hiding, fearing his next move. He forced himself upright. The hunt would continue, even if it killed him. After the Beast Tamer duel, Kazuya's mangled body refused to move. He needed answers before it broke completely. He slipped past the association's watchers and into the forbidden archives beneath the old capital.
If I am going to tear myself apart, at least let me know why this cursed skill was ever born.
In a crumbling chronicle, he found the kingdom's foundation lies. The first ruler had his exact power. The founder wielded class absorption. He gathered every class and sealed them into the crown itself. The king class was the final seal, held ever since by the royal bloodline. A class meant to rule all others.
So the king has the final class, and my skill was meant to collect them all. That can't be coincidence.
A hidden drawer clicked open as he touched the page. Inside lay a single scroll, glowing faintly. The king awaits. The cycle repeats. Come to the throne when your collection is complete. Kazuya's fist tightened around the scroll. First he would finish his list. Then he would meet the king. The darkest duel yet led Kazuya deep into Morvaine's lair, where the air itself reeked of decay.
You dare enter my domain. Your soul will be a fine addition to my legion.
At his command, the ground cracked and skeletal hands erupted, surrounding Kazuya with a wall of the dead.
This darkness, it's different. It gnaws at my will, pulls me toward despair.
Drawing on his healer class, Kazuya warded off the death magic and forced his way toward the necromancer. With a final surge of willpower, he shattered Morvaine's defenses. The necromancer collapsed among his crumbling minions. The system window flared. Necromancer class absorbed. Mastery 100%. Dark energy flooded Kazuya's veins, and a tortured scream tore from his throat as he clawed at his own chest.
I can feel their deaths, the screams of the fallen, but I won't lose myself. Not to this.
He forced the darkness back, regaining control. 7 classes now. The abyss gnawed at him, but he endured. The final S-rank duel took place on a barren arena of cracked stone. Grog the Titan awaited, his massive axe gleaming.
You think you can steal my rage, little thief? I'll smash you until there's nothing left.
Every muscle is tearing itself apart. One wrong move and I'll shatter. But this is the last one before the king.
Grog's first blow crushed Kazuya's shield and sent him skidding across the stone. The berserker's strength was monstrous. Blow after blow rained down, each one jarring Kazuya's fractured body. But he refused to fall.
I have 7 classes now. If I don't use them all together, I am dead.
In a final, desperate surge, Kazuya channeled every class at once. He vanished with assassin speed, struck with mage lightning, and drove Knight's blade through Grog's axe. The berserker crashed down, his rage extinguished. The system window appeared. Class absorption, berserker. Mastery, 100%. Every symbol on Kazuya's chest flared, then abruptly dimmed. He collapsed face down on the stone, his breathing shallow. All 8 base classes were his, but his body had finally given out. He should have died there on the cold stone. But a soft light washed over him, Elena kneeling beside her former enemy.
I told you this would happen. Your body is a cracked vessel. I can stabilize you, but you are on borrowed time.
Before he could answer, the heavy clatter of armored boots echoed through the arena. Association agents had found him.
I can barely lift my arm. If they try to arrest me now, it's over.
But before the agents could reach him, a golden light descended. A royal guard stepped forward, holding a sealed scroll. A royal voice cut through the tension. By order of King Elias, the hunter Kazuya is summoned to the throne. All association claims are suspended. The scroll bore the ancient seal of the founder himself, the same crest from the archives.
The king summons. The answer I was looking for, right when I have no strength left. If I refuse, I am dead anyway.
He accepted. Elena supported his weight as the royal guards formed an escort, leading him away from the association's reach. The towering gates of the royal castle swung open, and Kazuya was carried inside. The king was waiting. Kazuya, barely able to stand, was led into the grand throne room where King Elias sat in solemn silence. The king dismissed every guard and servant, sealing the chamber with ancient wards that shimmered into silence.
I have waited a century for you. 12 lifetimes I've lived, each ending in failure, until now.
Ilias raised his hand, revealing a ring engraved with an infinite loop, the mark of a regressor bound by fate.
A regressor? So, those legends in the archives, they were true. He has been living the same century over and over.
Your skill, class absorption, was the power of the true founder. The current royal line are frauds who stole the throne. I have been waiting to restore the rightful order, and now you are here, with all 8 base classes.
He knew I would collect them all. Was this his plan all along? Am I just a pawn in his loop?
The king class is sealed within me, but I can transfer it through a sanctioned ritual. Will you accept your birthright?
Kazuya's hand tightened. The impossible choice hung before him. The throne, and all its weight were his to claim.
The founder wielded class absorption just as you do. He gathered every class to unite the kingdom.
The ancient chronicle showed the first ruler surrounded by all the symbols, now glowing on Kazuya's own chest.
But his descendants were usurped. The king class was sealed, and my false line has worn the crown for centuries. I am sorry for the world my ancestors built. This broken hierarchy that murdered your family, I could not stop it.
My parents died because of this lie. If I take that class, I can end it forever.
I offer the king class through a sanctioned ritual, the same rite the founder once used. It will recognize you as the true heir.
The crown symbol on Kazuya's chest began to pulse, as if answering the king's call.
I accept. Not for power, not for revenge, but so that no one else is called worthless.
The pact was sealed. Ancient wards glowed, and the ritual circle blazed to life. The final class would be his, or it would break him. There was no turning back now. The ritual circle blazed brighter, ancient runes swirling like a cyclone around the 2 figures.
For a moment, everything vanished. 2 simple stones, and my own promise echoed back.
His parents' graves surfaced in his mind. The reason he had clawed through every duel and every fracture.
By the founder's authority, I release the king class. Let the true heir receive what was stolen.
A torrent of golden energy crashed into Kazuya, flooding every vein with liquid fire. Every wound he'd ever taken reopened. Blood and light mixed as his body screamed in protest.
This pain is nothing. My parents lost their lives because of this broken world. I won't let it go to waste.
He locked his jaw and forced himself to remain standing. The ritual would not break him. From King Elias's chest, a blinding crown-shaped light began to pull free, but the transfer was only half complete. The hardest trial was still ahead. But 8 conquered wills rose against him. Every class he absorbed screamed rebellion.
They're trying to break my mind. Each one wants to reclaim its own existence.
Phantom blades, ghostly flames, shadowy arrows. Every skill he had absorbed turned against him in a storm of stolen power.
But I didn't steal them. I earned them. I am not a thief. I will become the anchor.
He centered his will on the promise that started it all. 2 simple graves and a world that called him worthless.
I am the vessel for change, and you will all submit.
A searing golden light erupted from his chest as every symbol flared in unison. The crown symbol blazed into existence at the center. The system window shimmered with golden text. King class absorbed. Mastery 100%. King Elias sank to his knees, the light leaving his chest. His century-long burden was finally lifted. Kazuya stood, the crown symbol blazing beside the others. The king class was his. Now he had to claim the throne in truth. King Elias lifted his crown with trembling hands and placed it on Kazuya's head.
You are the true king, heir to the founder. I abdicate all claim.
The golden crown settled, and every class symbol on Kazuya's chest ignited in unison. The sealed doors burst open. Commissioner Vol and a dozen nobles flooded in, their faces contorted with rage.
You think a stolen ritual makes you a monarch? The association will never recognize this farce.
Kazuya didn't move, but the air grew heavy. A prismatic aura poured from him, pressing every noble to their knees.
Silence. My first decree. All sealed classes are forever legalized. The caste system ends today.
Whispers of disbelief turned to panicked shouts. Centuries of hierarchy shattered with a single sentence. The city, already gathered outside, erupted. Commoners who had been called worthless now wept, their futures unchained. Kazuya stood on the castle balcony, the crown steady on his head. The kingdom forever changed, but the old order would not surrender quietly. Within a week, Commissioner Vol rallied the highborn houses into open rebellion. Armed with mercenary hunters and ancient siege magic, they marched on the capital at dawn. Kazuya met them alone at the outer gate. A single figure against an army, he raised one hand. Fire, ice, shadow, and lightning burst from his chest symbols in a blinding display. The rebels' spells fizzled, their weapons shattered. Within minutes, the entire host lay disarmed and kneeling.
Your titles are forfeit. The old world ends here.
Commoner representatives, chosen by their own people, stepped forward to receive the roles of governance. With the old power broken, the association was forced to dissolve its archaic laws and accept the new charter. Within 3 months, the last class restrictive law was struck down. The caste system was dead. For the first time, children of every birthright trained together. The age of worthlessness was over. A year later, the kingdom wore a different face. Markets bustled without class checks, and academies taught all who came. King Kazuya slipped away from the castle alone, wearing simple clothes, a single flower in his hand. He walked to the same small graveyard he had visited a lifetime ago, where 2 simple stones still stood. Kneeling before them, he placed the wildflower at their base and bowed his head.
I kept my promise. No one is worthless now.
The first light of dawn broke over the hill, warming the old stones and the new era alike. He stood and looked out over the land he had changed, the half-smirk finally softening into peace. The kingdom's dawn was quiet, but it was real. A world where class was a choice, not a cage. Behind him, the 2 graves seemed less like an end and more like a beginning. He had been called worthless. Now, every class in existence rested in his chest, and he had made sure no one would suffer the same fate. Back in the present, Kazuya stood on the castle balcony, the morning sun warming his scarred face. Below, the academy courtyard teemed with children, former commoners and lowborn nobles training side by side. No barriers, no forbidden arts. Every child lifted their hands and summoned magic without fear. The association, once an instrument of oppression, now stood as a guardian of equal opportunity. Kazuya allowed himself a small, genuine smile, the cold half-smirk softening into something warm. His chest symbols glowed faintly, not with threat, but with the quiet pride of a promise kept. The kingdom was not perfect, but it was free, and that freedom had been born from a worthless class. He turned and walked back into the castle, the crown light on his head. The sun rose higher over the new era. The story of the classless commoner who became all classes would be told for generations, and at its heart was a simple truth. Worth is never given. It is taken with unyielding will. And then, for the first time since his awakening, the system window shimmered before him. Class absorption, current class, all. Every symbol on his chest flared in unison, a constellation of conquered fates. He was no longer knight, mage, archer, healer, assassin, beast tamer, necromancer, berserker, or king. He was all of them, and through them, the end of the world that killed his parents. The camera pulled back, and Kazuya became a silhouette against the rising sun. He turned and walked into the light, the crown steady on his head. The kingdom stretched before him. The age of class had ended. The age of will had begun. The light grew brighter until there was only white, and the whisper of a promise kept. A new era, a new king, a new world.